Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Window Shopping. I'm your host, Stephen Mead. I'm the managing broker here at Domicile real estate for people who love houses. Hopefully that's you if you're watching this video. If it isn't, you're probably not going to like this video very much. I want to take a second before we begin on this one to be real for a minute. Houses in Southern California are expensive. There's really no way around it. And I think people who try to say that they're not expensive are really just, I don't know, they're delusional. These houses are expensive. And a lot of times we come across homes where you really just don't get very much for your money. And they're really expensive and they just don't seem to offer a lot. In fact, we have another home on the list in the email today. It's a really cool house, but it is hard to stomach $2.5 million for 932 square feet. I don't care that it's gorgeous and beautiful. That's just a hard pill to swallow. This house that we're featuring today is my favorite house of 2023 so far, of anything that's come up. And it's expensive. It's over $2 million. There's no way to say this is an affordable house or even really an attainable house for most people. We're fortunate we've had several clients who have been in that $2 to $3 million price range, but that's not everybody. That's not most people. That's not even very many people, really. But this house actually offers quite a bit for that money. And it costs a lot, but I feel like whoever buys it is really getting a lot, which is not something that I can say for a lot of the other homes that are for sale, in our Southern California area. So let's go ahead and get started because I really like this house a lot and I want it to go to someone who's really going to take care of it. So this is 3 Lida Lane in Pasadena. And this is a house I'm going to start by saying something. This is over on the west side of kind of the Rose Bowl and the Arroyo. It's a neighborhood called Linda Vista. We actually featured another home in this area in the past. It's been, I think, one of our featured homes, and this actually neighbors that house. This home was built in 1946, and it's kind of an unusual configuration, right? 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and nearly 2,800 square feet. It sits on almost 3/4 of an acre of land, which is really just unheard of. And it's $2,279,000 is the asking price. It's not our listing. It is listed by Stephen Clark of Backbeat Homes. But I just want to take you through because really this home is exceptional in every sense of the word. This was built by architect Floyd Mueller as his own residence. And I've said this a couple times before. If you ever have a chance to own a home that was designed and built by an architect for their own use, these are the coolest houses because they often did things that clients really would never sign up for. They would often take risks on these houses and do things that were out there. And this home, as I mentioned, was built in 1946. And really that predates a lot of the big modernist movement in Southern California. We had Neutra building houses in the 20s and 30s, 1940s. We had Cliff May doing some contemporary homes through the 30s and 40s. But really, this one was a roadmap of sort of the 50s sprawling sort of modernist ranch home. I mean, really, this home was the blueprint, and it was 10 years early on that. And you've got a lot of generous built-ins in this house, and the stuff has aged really well. Here's the approach to the house: very unassuming. I love how close with nature this is, but you've got lots of floor-to-ceiling glass just framing these views of the surrounding trees. This is the dining room, very generously sized. Again, this is a nearly 2,800 square foot house with 3 bedrooms. You've got all this floor to ceiling glass, which I can tell you in 1946 was not very common at all. You've got glassed in corners. This is kind of looking back at that living room another way. Tons of built-ins in this house. And really you're framing the view of this 3/4 of an acre lot. There's a lot of cool little details and little storage elements done. This kitchen, which appears to have been remodeled in the 1990s, I think it's not what I would pick today, and I certainly would maybe look to going back to something with a bit more wood to match the rest of the built-ins in the house. But I think they at least kept with some of the original design thesis, which was clean and simple lines. And this is a big kitchen. In the 1940s, this kitchen was gigantic. People couldn't have imagined such a large kitchen at that point in time. You've got a full laundry utility room, kind of a cool office with built-ins. And then this is this backyard area with this kind of rock-lined pool under the trees. Yes, it's a pain to keep clean. As someone who had eucalyptus trees bordering his pool home as a child, I know what it's like to have to clean up after these trees. But really, to have a pool in this kind of setting in California, I mean, this is really a one-of-a-kind property. And you are minutes away from downtown Pasadena. It's not like this is off in the middle of nowhere. To be able to get this level of privacy, seclusion, natural views, and to be able to do that, at what is a very expensive price, but not really an unreasonable price for what you're getting. And you've got the home, see how it's elevated with the tree kind of growing between the wings. This house also has something else that I'm personally really fond of. And that is, I love when a home is spread out so wide that you can actually look back in rooms and see other parts of the house. I know that's a weird thing to be in love with, but I think it's such a cool sort of design element that really gives a sense of scale to this property. And again, 2,800 square feet, that's not big by today's standards, but I can assure you, when this home was built, this was huge. You've got these bathrooms, which are really quite elegant and simple. I think they've had some modifications since they were built. This is the primary bedroom. You'll notice these rooms all have sliding doors that go out to kind of this small, thin patio that surrounds the house. I mean, this is what you wake up to and look out to is you just see natural beauty. And I think to get that in Southern California in a populated area and a really cool designed home to boot, again, we can see back at other parts of the house. Really amazing. This is kind of looking back across the whole lot towards that living room. These night shots really just, elevate this house, right? All the use of indirect lighting. This home was ahead of its time in so many ways. And then this is a site map of the property where you can see just how it's laid out. The approach from the street, that really sort of the way the house actually closes off the rest of the lot to prying eyes. You've got these paths that go through. This is a one-of-a-kind property. This home was also featured in Arts and Architecture magazine, which was really kind of a journal of the forefront of residential home design in the 1940s and 1950s. This was the Bible of the trends and what was to come. And you can see there was an article and a write-up on this home. This is the original configuration of some of those built-ins, but you can see this original design thesis holds true, even in the home present today. And, I don't know whether any of you, this is the right house for you. Like I said, almost $2.3 million is not an affordable home. And I don't want to make it out to be, we try to focus on things that are more attainable, but really this one is just such a special property and such a special lifestyle to be in a home like this. I just had to share it with you because this one is special. If you'd like to see this home and you'd like us to give you a personal tour, absolutely reach out to us. I would love to show you this house. If this isn't the right house for you, but you have an architectural home that you would like to buy, or if you'd like to sell an architectural home, absolutely reach out to us. If you're in the Southern California area, we would love to help you out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we will see you again real soon.